Hey, ready for episode 16? Hey, welcome back. This is episode 16. We'll get to what happened to 15 in a second. How you doing, Adam?
I'm doing good, and yeah, we're finally back. What's it been like, 3 months?
It seems like it.
Well, for anybody that does listen, there was an episode 15, but the wheels came off and it all just went to shit. So we were supposed to re-record it, but well, let's start by what happened. I think it was going to land on Christmas, so you proposed to me to let's bump it out a week, and then we'll be doing right before Christmas, and then after that would be New Year's this weekend.
Yeah.
And, well, we pushed it out a week. We had technical difficulty when we tracked it.
Well, we had it mostly recorded, and then my power strip fucking went out. So my unit and my roadcaster just completely just blanked out. It just powered off. And so we didn't know. It took me a half hour or whatever to try to figure out what the fuck went wrong. And then so I figured out it was this stupid Walmart power strip that I had it plugged into. That thing gave out.
He's rented hundreds of dollars of equipment on this little $3 power strip. It's like, dude, spend $50 or $100. Like, seriously.
So yeah, since then I got me a Furman a power strip, so it's got the conditioner and all that shit on there. So it's help with noise suppression and all that. So I spent a little money. I'll post a picture of what I got on our Instagram.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
for guitar players and stuff, we usually use the rack ones, but yeah, the Furman's good. It'll protect your shit. So.
Well, yeah, I remember the Furman, so that's why I went right to Sweetwater and I looked it up and I was like, oh, they got a little strip. I'll do that. Yeah. Then, fuck it, because I don't need the whole rack thing. But
no, you don't need a rack. Just do power strip.
So, yeah, so we fuck with that, and then we re-recorded where we figured the episode cut out. So that was like another 15 minutes. It was like we were almost done with the damn recording.
And,
and then I one thing I did is Adam wanted like all the tracks. He's it's not sending me a stereo track, which I thought it was. So I said, well, there's a switch on here in the settings. I can just record all the tracks, so it's going to be a bigger file, but it'll be everything. So he goes, yeah, we'll do that then. So I had that on. So the file I sent him was huge. It was like almost a gigabyte or half a gigabyte. And so over the, in an email, it took like all night to fucking send it to him and to upload it. And then he got it the next day and told me, hey, it's corrupt. So.
Yeah, there were two files. There was a bigger one and then a smaller one, which was like a third of that. But the small one came through. The big one was all jacked.
Yeah.
But you know what I don't get? If it's tracking, okay, it's got how many inputs? Is it like 5 or 6
There's
or 8?
4 mic inputs. There's the USB input. There's the phone input. There's a Bluetooth input, and then the little soundboard that it's got with the sound effect.
But it's tracking all those tracks, right?
Yeah.
You don't have nothing plugged into them, so I don't understand why it's so big. Because you're not really tracking anything.
Yeah, there's a track, but it should be empty because
it should be empty, and it shouldn't really eat up any memory. But I don't know. I don't have the unit, so.
Well, all I know too is on my micro card. When I first got it, the way I was sending you the file before, it was saying like because I got a 128 gig micro card, and it said 23 plus hours right of recording. And then when I switched it to the multi-recording, now it just says 17 hours. So it's taking up more space doing that with all the tracks.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but we got the Furman running, so it shouldn't cut out on us. And that was our 15 hamburger episode too. That was a classic.
Oh. Yeah.
So we were gonna get together because that was the Christmas week, that week right before Christmas. We were gonna get together like that Wednesday to redo it. We were just gonna redo it, and then but I came down with COVID, so like I could barely talk because I was coughing so bad. So
yeah, he's hacking away, man. He fucking sounded like shit.
Yeah, so we had to put it off, and then of course it was Christmas, so we waited, and then so we just waited till this week was when we were scheduled to do it again. So
yeah,
we're gonna have
that's why we're jumping to 16.
Yeah, that's why we're on 16 now. So the last one, if you're following, would have been 14, and 15's chopped up. But maybe we'll probably put out as like a lost episode or pieces of it or whatever.
Yeah. Well, we can salvage, but most of it, I say 2/3 of it, if not 3/4, got just lost.
Yeah, because the second file that you got that I'd send you was the small one. That was the redone or the part that we redid where we thought where we knew it like cut off. So we took it up from there, but then we couldn't save the original part, the big file.
Which is good because we did the questions and then so I knew the answer to the question and then his shit went down and it's like so we're trying to do it again like I didn't know. Yeah, I like, know that
yeah, we were in Turn It Up and we were doing the question.
And when you finally before you got your shit back up, like the phone went out. So I was like, what the fuck? Like I just totally lost him. And then once you got things back up, I thought you were recording. So I'm still playing along like, hey, all right. So we're doing the podcast. And then it took you a minute or two because you were distracted by trying to figure out your shit.
Yeah, I was trying to figure because it turned back on, but I had to plug it. I had to unplug it from the power strip and plug it straight in the wall. And, and then that's when I had figured out, oh, it's the fucking power strip.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there making jokes. I'm thinking this is all getting tracked.
But the whole time I'm like, fuck, oh, fuck. And it's like that didn't give you a clue that something was wrong. But I should have just told you, hey, we're not recording.
Yeah. So you finally did. You finally went, hey, it's not recording.
Yeah, because you kept going, and then I was like, hey, he doesn't realize that we're not recording.
Well, because you would stop talking, and then it's like, well, we don't want dead air.
Yeah.
I got to keep filling it in. Oh, we're not recording. Okay. I thought once you got me back on the phone, it was working again.
Yeah.
But technology and old guys.
Amateur night.
Sweet Jesus.
Fucking internet.
Damn.
Fucking Joe Luck. That's it.
Well,
fucking kid.
And then it took all night to fucking upload it to you, to send it to you. So I was like, because when I took the card out of my fucking Roadcaster, I put it in my computer, and it was a file there, and it was a big file. So I was like, okay, this got to be it. So it did record up until whatever, and then you were gonna edit both pieces or whatever.
Yeah, and just put them together.
But it was so late by the time you got it that you said, well, I'll do it in the morning or whatever.
Yeah.
And then by the time you got to it the next day, it was like, you're like, hey, none of this shit worked. And I was like, fuck.
That was a lot of wasted time for nothing. And then, Rona struck and Joe fucking is hacking. You still got a little bit of a hack right here.
Yeah, I still get the little hack. But it's not as bad as I was.
Oh, a lot better than you were last week. Every other sentence you were fucking gagging.
Yeah.
So.
And then, and then I took a test and it's negative now, so I'm over it.
You don't got the herpes?
No. Well, it's just, like I said, I got this hack because then it got all cold over here.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's been like in the 20s, like at night and shit. So, I mean, I got a heater and all that, but if you go outside, I take the dog out or whatever, it's cold as fuck.
Oh, yeah, and that cold air in the wintertime. I even get like a dry cough, and then with the cold, it doesn't help it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then going from inside the house to outside.
Yeah, from warm to cold to warm.
Yeah, so it just hits me.
So, I guess lucky number 16. 15 was a thud.
So we skipped it over. It's like those skyscrapers that they skip floor 13.
Or they skip floor 13.
Yeah.
So it goes from 12 to 14.
Yeah.
It's like, get over it, unlucky 13. Get on.
I know.
Get on, dude.
Finger exercises.
Fucking finger exercises. Yeah. All right. So what we're gonna do? What are we opening with?
So we do the news.
Okay.
We're gonna do the news. So let me get that set up now.
Music news.
All right. So what do you got? You were talking something about NAMM.
Yeah. So we are in January. NAMM's usually in January. That's the North American Music Manufacturers Convention. They have 2 of them a year. Usually one in January, and that's in Southern California at Anaheim, right across the street from Walt Disney World and or Disneyland. And then they have the second one in, I think it's July, in Nashville. But they moved this year's one to June. June, I think, 3rd through 5th. So it's pushed out about 6 months or 5 months. And now there's like talk. I've seen like John 5 put up. He doesn't think NAMM will be around too many more years. Yeah. NAMM's it's a trippy thing if you're just like a fan, and that's the thing. More people are starting to learn this. You go there and there's just rock. All the rock gods are there. All the musicians, because what these guys do is they get endorsements and they get free guitars, free whatever, whoever you're endorsed by. But the agreements are you got to come to the conventions, and then you go to their booth and you do signings and meet and greets with the fans, with other people that are there, like buyers, stuff like that, other manufacturers, whoever gets in line signs up for those times, because they'll have like the booth and a list of on which day who's going to be there and then at what time.
Yeah.
And I mean, you see everybody. The first year I went there, what's his name? Stevie Wonder, poor guy, because he's blind. He's got a couple handlers that are helping him along, and people are just crowding around the guy. Oh, Stevie Wonder, can I get a picture? And he's sitting there with a smile on his face. He's being very generous and nice. Well, you can tell it's like, dude, that's got to be hella scary. It was just like swarming you. So they have, people that'll walk them in. But yeah, you go walking around. I've seen the dudes from Korn there. Luckily, my first year going down there, I was endorsed by a company called Basson, and they were making at the time guitar and bass cabinets. And their biggest artist was Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue. So we got to sit there, me and my other guitar player, and we get to hang right behind the, in front of the line, right by Nikki, while he's doing his signings at the booth we were with. And the guy that was doing security there, he knew us as just Basson artists, because he was, pushing people back, keeping them out of the aisleways. Yeah. And then later on, I think it was Anthrax, their drummer was doing a little thing where he's doing a demonstration. So all the Anthrax guys come walking up. And the same security guard that was working our booth knew me and Brent. So we started talking to him, and he just let us stand there while he's shooing everybody off. I was like, well, that's kind of cool, man. And we got to kick it right there where Anthrax was walking into their booth and stuff. And it's crazy because there's just all these rock stars walk around. And then, like,
did you shoot up with Nikki?
No, I said, hey, you want to do some heroin? I'll get the spoon.
There's a dumpster in the back. We could go.
Yes, dumpster,
Let's go.
But, yeah, and then if you can't get tickets to get in that thing, I mean, you can usually find a way to get in. If not, the other thing is I have friends that go down there every year. Right across from the convention center, it's like a walkway, is the Hilton. And the bar there is where everybody goes to after, because they'll have each day, they have the convention, they close at 6, and then they'll do each night. They'll have a number of different shows going on around Southern California. And then so people get bused to those shows, and then they get bused back. And after that, by like 9 or 10, the Hilton bar is off the hook. Just rock stars drinking at the bar and partying. And one year, I got really drunk down there with Phil from Machine Head at the time. He was in Machine Head, and we were all drunk singing Tenacious D songs. And yeah, it's crazy. It's really a trippy thing. But yeah, so they're moving that to June, and I don't know. Rumors are they might not go on too much more, but we'll see. Oh, yeah, I recommend anybody, if you can, go to it one year. It's kind of trippy.
Yeah.
You don't just see rock stars walk around the crowd normally, but they're there, all of them.
Damn.
Yeah, so that's what I had for news. I mean, because it's also a slow news week.
Yeah, the holidays. I just got some more updates with the rock stars that are canceling performances because of COVID.
Yeah.
David Lee Roth, remember he added some extra shows because he's going to retire. He had to cancel some New Year's shows because I guess one of the band members that he has got COVID. And then Billy Joel Armstrong from Green Day, they canceled some shows for New Year's Eve.
No, they canceled too, huh? I didn't see that.
Yeah, so I wasn't really going to talk, but it's, news, I guess.
Yeah.
Rush is back in the news. They're coming out with a pinball machine. Which
Rush machine, pinball machine now? Dude, those things are like $10,000.
I know. Who plays pinball? It's like, come on.
Well, didn't, who was it that did, I think it was an Iron Maiden pinball machine, or was it Guns N' Roses 2 years ago? Every so many years, they'll make like a rock band.
Yeah, pinball machine. But I think like I said, who plays pinball? Well,
I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool to have one in my house, but I ain't paying $10,000 for the fucking thing.
Yeah, because they're going to be expensive as fuck.
Yeah, as I was looking online, I think I heard something about that the other day, and I forgot about it. And I looked up how much is a pinball machine. You can get them for about $4,000 or $5,000. I'm like, yeah, I don't like pinball that much.
Yeah,
because I have to buy more gear. Fuck that. So, get a better guitar.
Yeah. Did you get another guitar over Christmas?
No, not yet. I'm waiting for the Iconic. I guess that's more news too.
Yeah.
Well,
we talked about it in our lost episode, but
we talked about it in episode 15 that doesn't exist now. Yeah. So all these YouTubers and influencers started getting the EVH started sending out the Iconic. So you're starting to see videos now. There was all this speculation about, the solid state portion of it and how much is tubes. And some people are saying it's just going to sound like shit because of solid state. Well, now we all know because we've all heard it. But EVH put up a video, and I knew that guy for any of us metalheads that more modern high gain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that his tone sucked. And when I watched it, I was like, oh, that doesn't sound good. But then again, I'm like, well, he's not playing modern high gain metal. He's playing 80s scooped, Eddie Van Halen licks.
Yeah.
So you can't judge it off of that. Yeah, it's just you compare that, it doesn't compare. So now you got guys like Fluff, and then you got just different dudes on the internet they're playing it, and you hear it, and the thing sounds awesome.
Well, Ola did that demo, and
he
actually uses Randall cabinet. Remember the one that I told you I was thinking of buying? I was going to buy a Randall cab, and then I was like, oh damn, that would have been my setup if I,
Well, he did. He used that speaker.
Yeah, the cabinet.
Change out the speaker, but he got the combo is what you're talking about.
Did he have the combo?
It was the combo.
No, he changed the speaker out of the combo. Yeah, and his other little video, he did another one after, and he got the combo and he took out the speaker that it came with and put a greenback in there.
Yeah.
And
so they have the combo, but I saw his son new with Ola today. He's going to be doing a video with the head. He's got one of the heads. Of course, they all got them now. So I'm thinking I better be getting mine any week now. I put in a pre-order from Sweetwater. I like buying my gear through them because I bought in so much stuff through them. I get really good, they treat me well. So I'm waiting. You could get it right now if I wanted one. They have them on Reverb. I guess the distributors, their little independent distributors, got them first. Oh, yeah. So that's where all these guys are getting them. Some of them are getting them directly from EVH because they're influencers. But I'm looking at some of these guys, like that one dude, Kyle Bull. Yeah. And I started watching his channel because you were sending me links. And I'm like, dude, he's got like 8,000 followers. How the fuck they're just sending him gifts? I need to just stop doing my job and just making videos. I could get 8,000 followers. So, no, he even said he bought his. So, yeah, people are finding out. You can go on Reverb and have it shipped from a small music store. Yeah. So they're there, and then Sweetwater will have them probably within the next few weeks. So I'll probably have one by February, hopefully. So, but yeah, that's the other news. The Iconic it's on its way, and I think the thing sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah, from what I heard so far on the YouTubes.
Yeah,
I was like, damn, that's a great tone.
Yeah,
so at least the videos I seen. Well, there was a couple ones, but they even said on the video they labeled it Eddie's tone, and then they can't play like Eddie, so it sounded all fucked up.
Like ass.
Yeah, it was ass. Eddie ass. That's what it was.
He's ass tone.
And so those I don't hold the amp against because it's just the player,
No, and some of those too, you got it. That's the thing too. People want to just start talking shit because they don't know. They're like, oh, it sounds like shit. Dude, the guy that mic'd the amp, if he doesn't fucking know what he's doing, you're just getting a shitty mic sound that he doesn't know where to place the mic, the stuff where guys mic up their amps right, it sounds good.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things that go into that, like how you mic the amp, what you're doing with it, what style are you playing, how are you using the gain, Like Ola, he was getting a great sound out of that little combo.
Yeah, that's what turned me. I got a hard on with that one. I was like,
he's like, oh, fuck yeah.
I was like, damn, Adam was right. That thing sounds badass.
Fuck yeah. Dude, it's Eddie Van Halen. He's not only changed guitar in the 80s, he's made the sounds of metal for like the last 30 years, because 92 was when the first 5150 came out. And that amp is the sound of metal. Everybody, 5150, it was always in the 90s, 5150 or dual rectifier, 5150 dual rectifier. But, and on my last album, I recorded 5150 and a dual rectifier. That was the two guitars. Yeah. So, yeah, Eddie Van Halen is the father of modern metal high gain.
You didn't go Helix?
Nah, Helix is just like, it's like wanking off. But that Helix, I put it in its bag and it just sits there because the fucking thing, it always dies on me. I don't know what the hell's wrong with it.
You can send it to me. I'll have Rex take a shit on it.
Well, I mean, the thing still works. If I can get it to work right, the thing's pretty badass. But
like I said, that software, the plugin, they said they updated it and it's supposed to work on the M1 Max now. But then I got sick, so I didn't even get to try it over vacation here. So I'm gonna have to fuck with it one of these weekends. Try to get it to work again.
Yeah, all you got to do is just download it. It's like
reload it. And all that.
Doing that while we're doing this.
No, because when I do shit like that, it always fucking takes longer than it's supposed to.
Yeah.
So,
but that stuff when you're downloading is just running in the background. It's just the computer coming.
But yeah.
Yeah, so we finally heard the Iconic, and I'm still waiting.
Yeah, so we'll have one for our YouTube channel. You can make a video when you get it.
Yeah, I can actually shoot them out. Like I got a 5150 block letter.
Oh yeah, you can do a comparison with all of them.
I can compare them all. I got
one thing I don't understand is there was the original 5150, right?
Yeah.
Then I see the one for 5153, and then this one Iconic. But I thought this was the third one.
No, the 3 is the third one because there's 5150, then there's 5152, and what that is the two channels have their own EQing. In the original 5150, there's just a bass, middle, treble, and that's it. So channel 1 and channel 2 have to share the same EQ. The 5152 has 2 EQs for the two different channels, so you can separately have them. So when you click over, you don't have to mess with anything. You can have it set totally different for channel 1 than channel 2. And then in 2005, Eddie Van Halen left Peavey and went over to Fender. And Fender basically is the parent company of EVH. Yeah. So 5150 Mark III or 3 is a Fender. It's a totally different.
First Fender one?
It's the first Fender one. And what he did with that, too, is the two different power supplies. The 5153, which I've had that one since like 2008. It's the clean channel, the green, it's got 3 channels. So this was the first time he had 3 channels. And that first channel, the green channel, you can get really good cleans, like perfect cleans. And that's one thing Fender does well is like their combo amps, the Fender twin clean tone, that's Fender. Everybody loves that for their clean tones. So I think basically that kind of got incorporated into the 3. And then now they came out with the Iconic, which is James Brown, the original designer with Eddie Van Halen, created the 5150. Fender paid him a lot of money. He left his, he had Amp Tweaker was his company, and I guess he folded shop, closed doors, whatever. He's now working for Fender. They paid James Brown to come over there. And Eddie Van Halen, before he died, this is also why like everybody's talking shit about the amp, but it's like, dude, Eddie approved it before he died. Yeah. He was working with James Brown, and them two created the original 5150. So I don't doubt that it's going to sound good. You know, it's the same creators. So, and they just use modern technology. Okay, we don't need tubes like because tube amps still have a tube for your effects loop. They'll have a tube for different stages. But the gain staging in this new one, it's just those 2 preamp tubes. And it's always, even in the original 5150, it was just those 2 preamp tubes were just for that, for the gain staging, your crunch. Yeah. The other tubes were for other things like the effects loop and other shit. So, I mean, I'm not an amp builder, but this is what I've heard from the information. Yeah. Yeah, things going to be kick ass, man. And if for $900, $899, or if you want the one like you get the combo, that's $800 because it's $799, right? Or $699, $799. I don't know. Either way, it's under $1,000.
Like the only difference is it's the combos is I think 40 watts and
it's
the head's
40.
80.
Yeah.
But for what I do, that's going to be overkill anyway.
Yeah, I mean it's good. You're not going to be gigging with it, so
yeah.
And nowadays, a lot of times, you could go. I think it has a direct out just like the other one. So you could go, even if you were gigging with it, you could now go into the board with that. Yeah. And then you got your speaker for you on stage. Because there's lots of bands nowadays that don't even play with cabs or anything. They do all in-ears. But some guys still want it because they want to feel the air pushing behind them. They want the wall sound. But if you play enough shows, you get sound guy after sound guy go, can you turn it down? It's too loud. It's like, oh, fuck you. Your monitors suck. I can't hear nothing. And then as soon as you get playing, you go back and turn it back up. Everybody does it. Yeah. Fuck that. I'll turn it back up. Damn. But, yeah, so... but that's it on my side for news. What else? You got anything else?
We got 6 years ago we lost Lemmy, December 28th, 2015. Yeah. Couple. Oh,
and this is kind of now past, but we were going to talk about Dimebag, and that's the anniversary of his death. But now weeks later, we finally had another podcast.
Yeah, well, we did talk about it in the last episode, but
But the place where he was shot and killed is finally torn down.
He said they were going to build apartments there.
Yeah, they're going to be building apartments, but it's demolished. It's officially gone. So, rest in peace, Lemmy. Rest in peace, Dimebag.
Yeah. But on a little brighter note, 46 years ago, Steve Harris formed Iron Maiden on Christmas in 1975. So it's a little brighter note.
Damn, that's almost as old. That's a year after I was born. Damn.
Yeah, you were one. You were in the crib.
Yeah, I was shitting my pants.
Well, he was fucking, 16 back then? Because they said he started at 16. So,
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he was, because he left home and shit. Some of those songs that he wrote are about that.
Yeah.
He left home at 16.
I'm running free, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm running free.
So he was like the original Nikki Sixx.
Yeah.
Before the deaths and the heroin. And
Before Nikki Sixx was Nikki Sixx, he was Frank Ferrant.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
So you got that. Oh, and then one little side note I don't know if you heard the clip. It's been on YouTube and stuff. Mustaine finally shared a clip of the new song "Life in Hell."
Oh, did he? I haven't heard it yet.
But I heard it. But it's like a 10-second clip. Like he talks for a minute, and then he plays it, and it's like you just get like a little clip of the song. So it's kind of like those. It reminded me of those trivia where they play a song, and you're supposed to, okay, what song is this? And they give you like the little snip of it.
Yeah, because
that's what it was. It's like 10 seconds, if that. And you're like, okay, I heard a little crunch there, but I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, I can't really make nothing of it, get a feel for it.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, what's the point? But who knows? Just,
and then
when it comes out, I'll check it out.
Poor Scorpions, they released another one, I guess, over the holidays. Another one of their singles off that new album that's coming out in February. Yeah, and it's like nothing. Nobody gives a shit. There's like the radios won't play their shit. And it's like we were talking that last episode, that one episode, about how they just play crust. It's like Iron Maiden's got their new album. It's like, hey, and they talk about it like, hey, Iron Maiden's got their new album. Well, let's go back. The Trooper. And then they just play the old shit. They won't play the new shit. It's like, come on. So
it drives me nuts. Like, why is it like that? It's just... like other genres of music, they play. You listen to country, they play new country artists on the country channel.
Yeah, they don't just play Waylon Jennings every fucking 10 minutes.
Yeah, they're not busting off with fucking old ass shit like that. They're playing you new R&B and rap. They play on those channels. They play new art. What the fuck is it with rock?
Yeah,
it's like they just decided to fucking try to X out. And well, you know what? Whoever decided that, or however it came about, it's not working because new metal and new rock is getting created every fucking day, and new bands are rising and coming up every day. Yeah. So they can go fuck themselves. Fuck their radio. It's those fucking douchebags.
Well, that's why the only reason is because at work I'm on a machine shop. Yeah, that's what we just listen to. We have the radio on in the background, but and it just pisses me off hearing all that shit. Because they'll sit there and they'll talk on the breaks. Oh, Iron Maiden's got their new album. Have you heard it? Oh, check it out. But they won't play it. They'll fucking play their old shit. So, yeah. And it's like, come on. This is like 40, 50 years old.
It's old fucking old. That's our whole fucking joke. With the whole turn it up. Yeah, I haven't heard that song before. Turn it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Crust.
Let's laugh and let's listen to that same 4 fucking AC/DC songs. Yeah, turn it up.
Yeah.
Same 4 Led Zeppelin songs. Yeah, turn it up. And I've went on my rants before with the fucking, hey man, Jimi Hendrix is a fucking awesome guitar player. Put him on the old channel though.
Well, that's my thing. They have classic rock channels, stations in every city, right? Like we got one here in Albuquerque. We got the real rock. That's what they call the modern rock, they say. And then they got the classic rock. But they play that old shit on both stations, you know?
Yeah. You really shouldn't, if you're going to be a modern rock or the new stuff, then they shouldn't be playing really anything earlier than I think the 90s.
Not unless somebody died. Like if it's an old rocker that died, I can see them that day playing one of their songs or like a tribute
or something. Yeah.
But other than that, they shouldn't be every fucking day playing that shit.
Well, because remember, like when we were kids, like there was an oldies channel, and that music was only about 20 plus years old.
Yeah,
and that was on the oldies channel. Yeah, it wasn't on the modern radio and the newer channels. But it's just like something with the fucking baby boomers. They took everything over and they just won't let it go. It's like they control this shit. Yeah, their fucking rock stays, and then nobody else gets to have anything. It's like, that's why we burn their festival to the ground. Fucking Gen X bitches. Oh, and that's another thing that drives me nuts. You ever hear that where they call everybody baby boomers?
Yeah.
Oh, they're boomers. Like there's this one commercial. If you're over 50 and you're a boomer, wait, Generation X now is around 50.
Yeah.
Get over it. 70s is boomers, okay? Let's get off that stupid term.
Yeah.
Those hippies, we burn their festival to the ground. Fuck them. Fuck that shit. Gen X, bitch. Fuck millennials. Fuck Gen Z. Gen X, all the way.
Yeah.
We brought you heroin. I killed myself. Nirvana.
We watched our own damn selves.
Yeah, we off our own selves. Yeah, I don't know. It's frustrating, but the thing is, because it's just, I guess that's probably just the market. Old people are stuck just turning the radio on and being stuck with whatever they get thrown at them, and they're not going to be listening to new music.
Yeah.
So, and the kids all have their phones and their apps, so. Even like me, I'll listen to Sirius or I'll listen to Spotify or, so.
Yeah, I normally I don't like listen to radio. The only reason I do, like I said, is at work because we just put the radio on in the background, and it's like, but yeah, that shit kills me every fucking week. I was like, that, and then like on the rock stage they play Stevie Ray Vaughan. He's blues, fucking rock, and it's like. Okay, I like his shit. I have a couple of his CDs, whatever.
Yeah, I like him too, but it's not
play. Turn it up, it's rock. It's like it's not rock. It's fucking blues. He'll even tell you it's blues.
Yeah,
and it's like it's just, or they come up with the fucking Doors, the fucking ancient fucking Doors. Come on, baby, like
all that 1960s shit. I love Jimi Hendrix, man. I went through my phase where I listened to a lot of stuff, but Jimi Hendrix, the Doors. All that shit. Get that shit the fuck out of here. That's old.
Yeah.
Get over it. It's over. Let's move forward.
Yeah.
That's why radio's dying, because it sucks.
Yeah, well, I think what's keeping it alive is machine shops like mine. They just play it on their, because it's.
Yeah, and those little warehouses and shit I've worked at where they just put the radio on and it goes on all day.
Yeah.
But. That'll go away too, because with the internet and the computers, people are listening to their own shit on their computers. They don't listen to that stuff.
That's true.
Or you're walking around with your phone, and all day I walk around. Most of the time, I'm listening to podcasts, and I just have my phone going, with my earbuds on while I'm working.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you ready for Turn It Up?
Yeah. Do you want to get into Turn It Up?
Yeah, because we're going to have a little story associated with this, with our...
Oh, a little story time? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little story Turn It Up time, yeah.
Yeah, you get a bonus for the new year. All right, let's go with it. Turn It Up.
It's now time for Turn It Up.
Hey, yeah, I've only heard that song a million times. Turn it up!
Yeah. So, what do we got this week?
This week was, see, we did Crossing Course already last week, and nobody heard that one.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one, too. I had some good questions.
Yeah, they were good. I was surprised. I almost had them all. I missed the last one.
Yeah.
So this week we got Slayer. This is Joe's pick.
Yeah, Slayer. So, supposedly one of the big four. Well, let's get with the questions first, and then we'll get into them.
Which is kind of dick, because it really should have been the big five. They really should have.
What? Who's the fifth one?
Exodus.
Oh, yeah. Well, like I even said Anthrax. Why are they part of the big... I don't know. I guess on the East Coast.
They were the East Coast thrashers. But when Metallica came up here, even Slayer, who ruled the Bay Area, it was Exodus. Yeah. And they would play with Exodus. And that's why Gary Holt got into Slayer, because it's like they've known Gary since the beginning.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, that's, hey, that could be debated. So you ready for some questions?
Yeah.
This one, since you're a drummer, this one might be, let's see if you know this one. All right. Who were the three drummers for Slayer?
Dave Lombardo.
Yeah.
Paul Bostaph and John. What the fuck was his last? Starts with a D. It's like a Italian name.
Yeah, I'll give it to you because it's John. I think Dette.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't. The spell did like how you wouldn't think you pronounce it or whatever.
Oh, so it's probably like Dette or something like that.
Yeah, it's like fucked up.
So yeah, it's like fucked up. Yeah, your name's like fucked up, and you're the least fucking known Slayer drummer.
He's like the ass drummer of Slayer, right?
You got an asterisk on your name. Yeah,
he's like the Bush when I'm taking Rex for a walk, and sometimes he dick kicks the bush, like he goes up like he's gonna piss on it, and then he just I changed my mind. That's
Bush is like, pick me.
Yeah,
I need water. All right, so I give you that one. You got that. Okay, let's see. What was this should be an easy one. What was Slayer's first release in 1983?
Show No Mercy.
Yes. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, I always get that one mixed up with Haunting in the Chapel.
Yeah, I think that was next. I kind of flipped those around too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Show No Mercy was their very first release. Okay, so and this one here, let's see. What Bay Area band gave Slayer the advice not to use any face paint when they first came up to the Bay Area to perform?
Was that Metallica?
Nope. It was the band I mentioned, Exodus. Yeah, because apparently when Slayer first came out, they used to have makeup, like not like like the Hollywood guys.
It was like war paint, kind of like.
It was like war paint, like corpse paint or something.
Kind of like Twisted Sister. Well, a little less than Twisted, but
no, the Twisted Sister look like trannies. But anyway, so yeah, they would do that. They came up here and played one show, like I forget where it was. And the next night they were going to be playing Ruthie's, which was like the rock club to play. Like that was Exodus's home, and that's where Violence got started. And that's where everybody came through, is at Club Ruthie's. And the next night was going to be Ruthie's, and the Exodus guys are like, dude, don't wear the paint. Don't use the paint. Our crowd will fucking eat you alive. Do not wear face paint. And so they took their advice, and they had a good show. And for years, they'd come up here and play before they really got huge. Yeah. And, of course, started a lifetime friendship with Gary Holt in Exodus. So, I'll hand it back over to you.
Gary Holt's from Exodus, but Kirk Hammett started Exodus.
Yeah, Kirk Hammett named Exodus.
So he's another one of the big four, Metallica. So
yeah,
they're all connected.
Yeah, that's why like if you watch Murder in the Front Row, like Exodus, probably just because they didn't get a lot of album sales, and they didn't get as big as the rest of the guys. So I guess they got left out, but they are the originals with those guys. Yeah, they've been in it just as long as those guys have. So yeah, but I'll let you take it over from here.
No, yeah, they're just. Well, I kind of got. I mean, I listened to them before, but I really got into them when Bostaph joined the band back in the '90s.
Yeah, that's when we both really got into them.
Yeah, well, we were doing our band, and then it just like it hit that album Divine Intervention hit, and I was just like really got into them. And then Bostaph was originally in Forbidden, which was a Bay Area band. So that's how we kind of knew about him. So when he got into Slayer, I really liked Bostaph before anyway, as being a drummer. So it's like, yeah, cool, he's in. And I don't know. I thought I've come to like Lombardo. I mean, he's a great drummer too, but like style wise, I was more on the Bostaph side. But now that time has passed, it's like I can respect and everything, especially how Lombardo started it over there with Slayer.
Oh yeah, and I think when you hear about some of the stuff, I think Lombardo kind of got this shit in the stick. But
yeah, he did get fucked over in some of the shit.
So it's like but yeah, Bostaph though we got a bias because we've met him and he's really I think he's more technical than Lombardo. He's really tight as playing and everything.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. We'll let you go ahead.
No, well, no, this is like I had that bias. That's what I'm admitting. But But like I said, over time and shit, you listen more and more. And especially you go back and listen to the older shit. It's like, yeah, I just appreciate them no more now, I guess, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So, but yeah, he did get fucked up. There was a bunch of shit going on, and you can ask each side which one, and they'll, you know, bitch about the other side. So,
yeah, of course. So it's, you know. Everybody's always saying, it wasn't us, it was them. It wasn't me, it was them. Yeah, and it's a little bit of both of it and then the truth.
Yeah, so.
But so Bostaph, you want to get into how you met him first?
Oh yeah, you want to do that? Let's do the.
Yeah, I mean, unless you got more to say about Slayer.
No, well, I mean, Slayer is one of the big four, so they kind of speak for themselves, you know.
Yeah, everybody knows about them. So
other than we've talked about them that, like Kerry King's kind of regretting that they quit so soon.
Yeah.
So I kind of see. Well, it's all up to Araya from what I understand, because he's the one with medical problems with his back and shit for touring. So it's all up to him, because I hear Gary Holt's ready to go again, you know, and I'm sure they can get Bostaph to go.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, Holt's he's got Exodus, so they just started going back out again and doing shit.
Yeah, but I mean, he was with them before anyway too. So
yeah,
they could work, like, because I've heard Gary Holt say in interviews on YouTube that if they called him, he'd be ready for it.
Yeah.
So and from mainly you're hearing it from Kerry King that he kind of regrets that they quit so soon.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's my understanding. It's because Araya has those back problems and shit, so they'd have to get him. Really, he's the voice. So, but I think the other guys would be ready to go. So I kind of see a Kiss tour type, farewell coming around, maybe in 25 or something.
Oh yeah, like an anniversary. See, they could. I don't know why bands do that and say we're going to retire. This is it. Why not just say we're going to just scale it back to like one-off shows here and there? You know?
Yeah, or do like smaller tours through the year. Like don't do worldwide.
Yeah, or do worldwide, but you can go space it out.
Or do like Metallica, go for 8 years on tour.
Yeah, well, like look at the Metallica did that for. That was another thing that happened over the last couple weeks. They did that 40th anniversary, the 2-night free show, and but they don't do it back to back. That's one thing I heard about Metallica. They'll do a show, take a day off, then do another show, and then take a day or two off. Yeah. So you know there's a point where you got to listen to your body and say, okay, well, fuck, I can't do that no more. You know, the throat doesn't heal as fast as like it used to. Your body and your back from headbanging, that shit takes its toll. So, but we'll see. I don't think they're done. Everybody else,
I don't think so either.
They'll come get a cash grab.
And I think the only thing that's holding them back right now really is this COVID shit. You know, because everybody's postponing, and you don't know where, like, some dates you got to move around and stuff because of the arenas and shit.
Yeah.
So I guess just take advantage of that right now and heal up Araya so you can come back out.
Yeah.
And but yeah, let's get on with the Bostaph.
All right, everybody, gather around. It's story time.
It sounds like you just came out of behind the dumpster with Nikki Sixx and shit. I'm feeling all right. Yeah.
Story time.
That's looking creepy as fuck.
Yeah, I'm doing like, it's music news, or hey, it's turn it up. Now it's story. I didn't want to do the same thing.
Story time. Give me some of that chon chon.
You ever fucking done Heroin Hero? Fuck Guitar Hero, do Heroin Hero. Try catch me. Chase the Dragon, yeah. It's supposed to be a little creepy. We're adults. Yeah, we're a little creepy with our story time. All right.
Crazy. Well, the story goes way back to the 90s.
Yeah, this is kind of a long one, but it starts with Joe.
Yeah. And it was a New Year's Eve, actually. And what happened was we had practice or some shit the night before, so it was the day before New Year's Eve. And I was down at our local bar by our studio and drinking down there. And so I met this chick, and we hooked up, went back to my apartment, and then she said she wanted to go out the next night for New Year's Eve. So I was like, ah, cool. So we exchanged numbers and shit, and I was like, yeah, cool. So then the next day, it was New Year's Eve, that afternoon and shit, I call her, and she ghosted me, basically. She didn't answer, nothing. So I was like, well, what the fuck? So earlier than that, my buddy Art had called me and said, hey, what are you up for? And I said, well, I got a date, supposedly. So he said, well, I was probably just going to go down to, what was the club down in Fremont?
Club Chaos.
Okay, Chaos. Yeah, I forget the name. So yeah, he's like, well, I was going to go down there and see who's playing. And I said, oh, well, I got the date, but who knows? And then, so anyway, later in that evening, she never called back. She wouldn't return the call. So I said, well, fuck it. And so I called Art. And I said, well, I guess I got stood up. Are you still going to go out there? And he goes, yeah, I'm going to go. So you want to go? And I was like, yeah, fuck it. Let's go. So he came by, picked me up. We went out there and we were drinking, playing pool because they had some pool tables and shit. And I forget what band. There was just like a local band playing. And
yeah, it was New Year's Eve. It's not going to be a great band. It's like.
But sitting at the second bar, because they had the main bar and then they have the little side bar over by the pool tables. Sitting there was Bostaph was sitting there. And, I'd known him. I was kind of like a little groupie because I was a drummer. I'm like, man. And I remember I was drunk, obviously because it was New Year's Eve, and that's what I did. But so I told...
drunk, it didn't matter what fucking New Year's Eve.
So I told Art, I said, hey, that's fucking Paul Bostaph. He's like, are you sure? I go, yeah, dude, I fucking know him. I know what he looks like and shit. And he goes, well, why don't you go say hi to him? I was like, should I go buy him a beer? And he's like, yeah, go ahead. He was egging me on. So I was like, all right, fuck it. So the other thing I know is we're Raider fans. And I knew from, knowing about him and all that shit, he was a 49er fan because he comes from the Bay Area too. So if you know anything about the Bay Area, the Raider fans and Niner fans, we hate each other.
Yeah, we rival.
It's a big stink. So I was already drunk, so I walk up to him, and I didn't know what the fuck to say. So I said, hey, you're a 49er fag. I was all fucked up. So he kind of looked at me like, what the fuck? He didn't know what to say, because I guess everybody just kisses his ass, right? So he kind of looked at me kind of strange at first, and I said, and then, pat him on the back and say, hey, no, you're a good drummer. Let me buy you a beer. Can I buy you a beer? And he's like, oh, yeah, that's cool. I go, then I introduced myself. I said, well, I'm a drummer too, but I'm not in your class and all that shit. So we sat there and we talked for a while, and then Art came up, because I guess he seen me talking to him. So he finally walked up, and I introduced him and shit. And so we talked for a little while, and then I forget how it happened, because by that time I kept drinking. So he gave me his phone number, right? So
yeah.
This is where
obviously you gave him ours.
We exchanged phone numbers, right?
Yeah.
So he wrote his down, because this is back before smartphones and all that shit. So he wrote down his, I wrote down mine, and gave it to him. And it was you and me were still living together at the apartment. And and so I said, okay. And then I said, well, yeah, we'll be in touch. And he said, yeah, I'll give you a call when I come back through town. And I said, all right, cool. And then that, we went on with the night, whatever. But I remember telling Art on the way out, damn, I can't believe we met fucking Bostaph. I got his number. So I felt like kind of one of those chicks who got a man crush or whatever, because I was like, damn, I can't believe, So, and you remember this, because when you got home later that night, you were doing your shit. And you got home, and I gave you the fucking paper with his number. I said,
I know. You wrote, dude, I met Bostaph, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Bullshit. Yeah, no, I'm kicking it, dude. He's my buddy. What the?
And I said, hide it, because, I get drunk, and I don't want to be drunk calling him, hey, what's up, bro? And all that shit, right? So you took it, and I don't know what the fuck you did with it, ate it or something.
I don't.
Because you couldn't find it later when we were going to call him.
Yeah, who knows what I did with it. But.
Yeah. So anyway, so I kind of forgot about it then. It was like a month or so went by. That was right.
It was a little bit of time, because then we ran into him again at Clubcast. This time I was with you.
Yeah.
We were down there. I forget who was playing, and we're playing pool, and you walk over with Bostaph.
Yeah.
And he remembered you, and so he comes over and you introduce him to me, and then I tease him about being a 49er fan.
Yeah,
and then I'm like,
shit.
It's just, hey, he's like, oh, hey, you guys are brothers. Yeah. It's like, yeah, we're Raider fans. It's like,
and that was around the time where he joined Slayer in 92, and then he left a few years after Divine Intervention, and they did that little that punk album. And after that one, after they cut that, I think it was in 94 or so.
Well, it had to be, let's see, Steve's born in 80. It had to be 96 or 97 when this happens.
Yeah. But it was in between the time where he left Slayer the first time. Because he left, and all the reports, like in the Bay Area, you heard, at the time, that he left because he wanted to play disco or some shit. And
he wanted to do alternative.
Oh, yeah,
and
alternative.
He started alternative.
No, and I think we were giving him shit about doing disco.
We're like, what the fuck are you going to be playing?
Disco?
You're going to be playing like Flamin' Lips music? She don't use jelly. Like, really? Yeah. He's like, no, come on. And then,
motherfuck.
And then, so that was probably another Friday or Saturday night. And then that Monday, I get home from work. And
no. Whoa. Oh, yeah, what? Maybe. No. Before that, he called me that one Saturday night. And remember, because that's when he said, I'm back in Slayer.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and he just told you he's back in Slayer.
Yeah, because it was one Saturday night. I don't know if I was going to go out or whatever. Maybe I was just hungover from Friday night. But I was at our apartment. I was on the couch watching TV. I remember I was watching TV something. Lawrence Welk or some shit. And you were gone. You went out. And he calls. And I was like, what the fuck? And then he goes, hey, is this Joe? And I go, yeah, this is Joe. And he's like, you know who this is? And I go, no. he goes, this is Paul Bostaph. And I said, oh, hey, what's up, Paul? And, and then he says, guess where I'm at? And I was like, I don't fucking know where. At the bar? And he goes, no, I'm down at Araya's house. And I was like, really? Oh, you're down in L.A.? He's like, yeah, I'm down in Southern Cal. He goes, guess what? I just got back into Slayer. I was like, damn, you're back? All right. I was like, congratulated him and shit. And that's when he said, when I come back up to the Bay Area, I'm going to swing by so we can hang out. And I was just like tripped. I was like, what the fuck? Out of the blue, he called, And then that's when I think I asked you later when I told you about it hey, you got the paper with his number, so I have it. And then
wait, you know what? I think you're missing the time. That had to happen after. Because I forgot that he randomly called you that one time, but that he got back into Slayer, then he wouldn't have came down to the studio. When he came down to the studio, he was trying to look for bandmates to start that alternative band.
Oh, so that was in between then.
That was after because then we did that, and then he went to the Super Bowl party with Stoney's sister, and then I think because now we kept kind of seeing him and hanging out with him. Then he called you, yeah, because then he gave that all up and didn't do the side project.
Well, no, he started with because you know those guys, right? The ones that he started with.
Yeah, no, he started because he was putting together looking for. This is the reason he called us up. I think the first time because I was fucking amazed. I get home from work and on the answer machine it's hey, this is Paul Bostaph. If you guys are practicing tonight, I'd like to come down and hang out.
I do not want to touch his ass.
Yeah. But maybe I wanted it to touch his ass. No, so, like, I get off fucking work. I'm fucking pulling tools in a shitty warehouse. And we go practice every night at our little studio down Cass Valley.
Yeah.
And I push play, and I'm like, what? Wait, what? Paul Bostaph, the drummer for Slayer, wants to come fucking to our studio to hang out? No, fuck away. And then you come home and Joe, play the answer. She's like, ugh, you're all fucking grumpy. Ugh. Play the fucking machine. Put the fucking glasses on. See you fucking what? Fucking Bostaph? Dude, he wants to come down and check us out. So fucking you call him back, and then he says, yeah, be down there. I forget what time or whatever. And then we call Steve because we had just met Steve. He just joined up with us, and Steve was 16. He was still in high school. Yeah. And this is the Steve that toured with him in Testament and stuff. our friend that passed away.
Yeah.
We tell Steve and we read him the riot act because it's like Steve was always like wiser than his age and, you know, kind of like an old soul. So we didn't think he was going to do anything stupid, but we just still was like, hey, you can't fucking tell anybody from the high school because last thing we want is Castro Valley High is down here hanging out in front of the studio because Paul Bostaph's coming. And he's like, well, can I have any friends? And we let him have 2. And like, that's it. If they fucking tell anybody, they're fucking out of here. Yeah. And so he's like, no, it's cool. So he had his 2 friends come hang out. But, and then, so yeah, he came down and checked us out. But what he was doing was trying to find band members for that side project he was starting. And what ended up happening is he found all the guys that ended up forming Systematic. Yeah. And then Systematic got signed by Lars Ulrich and Metallica, and then that was that. But then, yeah, and then after that...
Well, then he left because he went back to Slayer. Because that's when he had called me.
But yeah, shortly after that, I think. And then, then it would have been, was it that same January after the New Year's? Because then our buddy had a Super Bowl party, and we were telling him how.
No, it was a fight. It was the fight, wasn't it?
It was a fight.
It was that Mike Tyson fight where he bit his fucking ear.
Tyson Holyfield fight. That's what it was. Yeah. And he was having a party, and we invited him, and then we were telling him, too, that because our other guitar player, his sister had the hots for him. So,
well, we had dumped Stoney, but we used to hang out with them still because they were cool. You know, they were friends. So him and his sister, or his sister was more like a groupie type chick. So she would hang out because she just liked bands and all that. And he had caught a whiff of her or something, and then that's what he was asking me and you, hey, what about her? And there was a Stoney's sister, Monica, and then so we kind of told him, yeah, go ahead, you know, whatever.
Well, no, and she had kind of had the hots for him. So I don't remember the details how that all ended up working out, but yeah, then he ended up showing up with Stoney and his sister to our buddy's party. Yeah. We're just, you know, we had beer and fucking watching a fight. So we kind of just were hanging out with Paul Bostaph for a little while there.
Yeah, we had a little fling.
And then he called you and told you, and it's like, I think he just was excited, needed to tell somebody. He knew you'd appreciate it.
Yeah, well, like I said, that was its trip because I remember how that phone call, like I said, it was like a Saturday night. For some reason, I didn't go out or nothing. I was just hanging out at home. And then when he called out of the blue, it was like, well, I hadn't heard from him in a while. So it was just like, wow, what the fuck you calling me? But I was like, it was cool. But, you know, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, what the fuck is this guy calling me for? If, you know, it's like.
Well, yeah, because then it wasn't like you guys were best friends. And it's like, I'm just some guy that kind of, you know, we've hung out a few times, but that's cool.
Yeah. But I was happy that he was back because, you know, I loved him in Slayer. So.
Oh, yeah, dude. I love him in Slayer. I think Slayer, honestly, I'm more of a fan of the Bostaph years. But I love Seasons. I love Rain and Blood. Yeah. But, yeah, no. And it's funny because years later, Steve's on tour with them, and he asked him about that, and he don't remember none of it.
Yeah, he blocked it all out.
I guess so.
Or maybe we just all blacked out and I don't know.
Now, well, the thing is though, too, and then like Steve would explain, it's like you go on tour as a musician, you go from city to city to city to city. You meet so many people and see so many people that you just start to forget shit because the next day it's the same thing. Next day, same thing. So, this was a big moment in our lives because at that point, like he was like the biggest rock, well, other than Phil, but Phil wasn't in Machine Head yet. You know, Machine Head had just, I think, come out with Burn My Eyes, so their second album. So we knew Phil, but Phil had been in Violence, and by that point, Violence had fallen apart.
Yeah, they were Torque. And
Bostaph was like, dude, you're like the most accomplished musician we've ever met.
Yeah. And he played my drum set when he came out.
After that fucking party, dude, he's drunk as fuck. And we're hanging out in the studio. And then we're like, dude, I know you're fucked up, but dude, could you play my brother's games? I just want to see you play. He's like, dude, I'm not worried. I can barely fucking stand up, man. He's like, oh, fuck it. I'll try. He fucking just got on that shit. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, dude, and this guy can barely stand up, but he gets it behind a kit. Fuck.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah,
I wish we had fucking smartphones back then with the videos.
I know,
we would have took all kinds of fucking
him
pics and
playing
shit. Yeah. But, you know. So, yeah, and then when he came through with Steve on that tour with the Judas Priest that we had talked about before in an earlier podcast, and then that's when I hung out with, afterwards we were backstage by the buses, all drinking, and then that's when Motorhead was on that tour, but I didn't see Lemmy. I guess he had already gone to bed. But that's his guitar player was out there fucking around.
Yeah.
Annoying everybody. And and so I had talked to Paul again, but it was like, I don't think he remembered me or whatever. And even Steve had introduced us again. He's like, hey, this is Joe, remember? And he kind of looked at me like, no. And I was like, how do you know Steve? So like that connection should still, dude, you called me when you got back into Slayer. You don't remember that? But no, so I didn't say none of that, but I was just like, wow. But I just, we talked a little bit and I just said whatever, because that's the way, we are. I was like, fuck.
Well, that's the thing. Like I'm saying, dude, you meet so many people, it's just another person, another day, right? To us, it was like meeting, an icon. Yeah. So we're like, we're not going to forget that. Yeah. But to him, it's just, we were just another group of people that he met, that he meets all the time. So, yeah, because, Steve's had long conversations about this. He's like, I don't remember any of that. Like, damn. Or maybe he was drinking a lot more than we realized. Fuck.
Yeah, because he did get fucked up at the studio.
Oh, yeah, he was hammered, yeah. So. He's a good guy, because then he was living, after I bought my house, he was living a couple blocks from me over here.
Yeah.
And we were working on Steve's car, and they got back from tour, and Steve went and got his luggage, or I forget what the circumstances were. He had to cut home, so he went home, and then Testament just took his shit, and they put it in storage. So Steve went one day. I went with him to go get it earlier that day out of Testament's storage area to get Paul's stuff. And then so Paul came over to my house, and we were working on Steve's car. And he got his stuff, and he's like, my jack, I had left it in Jennifer's car, and it was at her parents' house. So we were fucking trying to jack it up with those shitty car jacks that you get from, the factory.
Oh, yeah.
What we needed was a nice, good jack. And he's like, you guys want a jack? Because that looks hard the way you're doing it. I was like, yeah, this ain't ideal. He's like, I got a jack. I'll be right back. I'll go home. So then he let us his jack, takes off, and then Steve goes, well, here's his number. Call him, tell him you got his jack, and then, you get back to him. I'm like, all right, But every time I call him, he wouldn't answer. I'm like, it's probably because why would he? Who the fuck's this? I'm not answering that.
Yeah.
And I'd leave a message. Hey, I got your jack. Let me know. Steve told me to call you. When you want, I can bring it by. And so finally, I go, Steve, you're going to have to get a hold of him because he's not answering to me. And then, then we went over there and brought him his jack back. But, yeah, it's funny because you meet so many people. Shoot, there's people that I've met at shows that like know me by name, and I go, "Who the fuck is this?" It's like it happens. I don't know the degree that he's lived, but just from my small experiences in bands, it's played around 300 shows. You forget a lot of shit because there's a lot of shit that comes with it. Adam, what's up, dude? I'm like, what's up, brother? Who the fuck is this? I don't fucking know you. I was probably partying with you, though. I bet you I was.
Well, some of that's probably from Dad anyway, though. Because I do that all the time, just here, around town here. Hey, Joe. And I'm looking and I'm like, who the fuck is that? Hey, what's up, bro? And it's I play it off, and it's like,
yeah.
And then, like, especially at work, when we get some people that, like, they were like temps and shit, and then they come back like a year later.
Yeah.
I'm like, who the fuck is that? I have to go ask somebody, who's that fucking guy? And they say, oh, it's so-and-so. You don't remember? I was like, oh, the sad fucking guy? I didn't even recognize him. But I think I'm getting that from Dad.
Well, Dad and Mom, because Mom would do that too, like with movies. We'd seen a movie a month ago, and I'd never seen this. Like, Mom, you seen this? We watched it together. no, I haven't seen this movie.
Did she sit there argue with you?
Yeah, and then halfway through the movie, she'd go, oh, is this the one where then that guy comes in? Yeah, exactly. You've seen this movie. Oh, I have seen this movie. Yeah. It's like, yeah, we're getting there. But just think about it. If you met thousands and thousands and thousands of people every year, you can't retain them all. You're not going to remember everybody. There's just no way. So yeah, we're just forgotten. Left behind. Yeah,
we got used and abused.
So, he got to play your kit, have his way with it, and then leave.
I know. I feel so used. My kit felt used.
Your kid's like, yeah, this is how you play me, damn it.
Yeah, who's this motherfucker? Give me to him, fucking.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with him. Fuck you, John. It's like he's still your girlfriend. And, what the fuck? My kid got up and left.
She just lifted that fucking skirt up and shit.
He's like, here, come take it.
Yeah. And that was before the flood. That was before
that was before the flood. Because we hadn't even moved into the big room yet.
Yeah.
Well, because that violence was still there.
Torque. It was Torque.
Well, Torque, but. Well, and it's funny when you say that. Yeah, go check them out. His stuff, he put it all up on Spotify, iTunes, and shit.
Yeah, Torque. Oh, no, I was listening to him the other day. Well, because I've been off for a couple weeks from work for the holidays, but that last week I was working. I put the iPod on. I put some Torque. I played your shit. I was playing like all old school shit.
Yeah. There's it was a pretty good album. There's some songs that I like. Circle in the Drain.
It brings back the memories when I hear those songs.
Yeah, that's what it.
Hanging with them and shit.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
But so I think we did a pretty good episode to make up for it.
And the power didn't go out. My phone is holding up. It's the light's still
on. If it goes out now, hey, we got this. We got it pretty much done.
So, all right.
Now let's see how long it takes to bounce it. Yeah, I guess let's wrap it up.
All right, check it out. Check us out on our website at 2bros music.com, all one word. And then on Instagram, 2brosmusic. That's spelled out TWO, all one word. And then our YouTube is 2brosmusic21 at Gmail. Or just, look up that on YouTube. And, so hopefully we'll put some, when you get that Iconic, we'll put some videos up of that.
Yeah, I'll do some shootouts comparing them.
We want to do more videos this year. Oh, and New Year's resolution is let's put out some more songs than we did last year.
Yeah, no, I already sent you music. So to let everyone know, I've sent Joe some music that I had, and I was like, oh, I forgot all about this song. And I sent it to him going, hey, do you like this? Do you want to use it or not? And then he said, okay. So we're going to start mapping it out.
We're going to start the next one.
And my goal is because I want to, let's really bust out some stuff because by April, I want to do one of Steve's songs, a song where he tracked. So I'd like to get that done with the two of us, and then it's a tribute to Steve for his birthday.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And it's him actually playing guitar. So
maybe we should do this one, and then the next one do the Steve song.
Because it's up
some months.
Yeah.
But so we'll work that all out.
Yeah, so we'll try to get. Well,
I mean, it should be easy because we only did 2 songs last year, so we should be able to at least get 4 this year.
I think we can get more than that, but
I do too. Now that we're getting the process is getting more like uniform or whatever, because that's the way we work though too. We're like creatures of habit. So once we get the habit down, then it becomes a lot easier.
Well, that and I had I was working with another band. I had a drummer, and then he brought in a guitar player, and I don't know, the band thing, I'm not feeling it. So I cut that loose. So I'll just be focusing on this and then my solo stuff. But so I should have a lot more time to focus and get stuff done.
Yeah.
Instead of having to focus on other crap that, just being in a band, it's tough. You got to compromise a bunch of things, and it's like, you know what, I could get a lot more done on my own.
Yeah.
Because it's just, whatever.
Especially now with the equipment. It's like back when we had our band, and we had this kind of equipment, and it would have been holy shit,
Yeah.
It's just so easier. Well, it's still the process and shit, but I mean, it's a lot easier technology or technical.
Yeah, no, like I said, I was just talking to like Steve's family yesterday, like his sister, and I'm like, yeah, I was talking about my band, and then I told him I just cut him loose. I could do it all sitting in this room. Yeah. I play the guitars with pianos, drums, whatever. Instead of having to go, well, I want to do my song. Well, I want to do my song, or I don't like that. And then it's like, well, you know what? Then I have nobody to blame but myself when I do my own shit. Yeah. It'll just be my fault. Or if there's you and me, and we're going to bicker because we're brothers. And just anytime you create something, sometimes you get two different points of view, and you have one has to win out over the other. So it's give and take. But, that comes with it. And at least it'll just be you and I. And then other than that, I don't need the rest of that crap because, I'm not going to be – you don't go out and play bars anymore. Like, that's not how you get anything done. Put it on the computer. Yeah. Get it all out there on digital media and, everywhere, all platforms. So –
and by the way, Dark is still on sale in the records to the music services, 69 cents. Still having our Black Friday sale.
Yeah, get it.
It'll probably go all year on that.
Yeah, we're gonna open up a special promo code. Get you some. And there you go, 69 cents for the year with that promo code.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess see you guys in 2 weeks. And actually, let's shoot for getting on video.
Oh yeah, we got to still do that. But and we had time, but it's just I got sick. Shit came up with the holidays.
Well, so let's make it a thing. We have to. The next one's got to be video.
Yeah. So what we'll do is next week we'll set up again and we'll run like a dry run because we're not going to record an episode, but we'll at least try to set it up. That way, the weekend that we record, we'll have it all set up. We can just punch in.
Yeah, it shouldn't take long. I mean,
yeah. We just got to sit there and do it for like an hour, like to set it up or whatever.
Yeah.
And then once we get it set up, it should be good.
Yeah, because we need to come to the modern era. People want to see video, even though we're fucking ugly to look at. This is what we look like. But once we get into video too, like I can send you these clips of these shootouts, and then we can put that in there.
Yeah.
Well, you can side by side. Here's the 5150 block letter, the PV. Here's the 5150 iconic. Here's the EVH3. Yeah. But that's all on the works. So
sounds good. All right. Let's end this mother.
See you guys next time.
Later.